Let's see. Is it this time? Or is it this time? Or is it this time? Or is it this time? I'm not sure. Hey, I'm not sure. How do you know what time it is? How do you know what time it is? Well, I have a watch on this hand, and I have a watch on this hand. And I'm not sure. Well, that's one way. How else do you tell what time it is? Might have watches, hopefully not on both arms or both hands, but maybe you also have a clock, right? Do you have a clock? Yep, there's our clock. Some of you have big clocks, small clocks. Some of you might keep track of the time on your phone. Yep, there it tells me what time it is. My wristwatches are telling me what time it is. But you know what? I've never seen any of these timepieces in a parade. Nope. It'd be hard to get them in a parade. Nope. Well, why would I want them in a parade? Well, they say that time marches on. Didn't you ever hear that phrase, that time marches on? What? Oh, it doesn't mean they're in a parade. Oh, okay. So time marches on does not mean that they're marching in a parade like that. No. Okay. What's it mean? Oh, it means that time is just continuing to pass. Right. Time marches on. Time moves on. We can't stop it. That's right. Time marches on. Whether we like it or not, time continues to pass. There's always a new day, and sometimes it comes so fast. And where do the years go? Sometimes time it continues time, no matter what. It continues to move forward no matter what we do. We can't stop it. So we have conversations like this. Hey, Frank, can you believe it's been 20 years since we've graduated from college? There was so much I wanted to do in life, but time just marched on without me. Oh, my word, where has all the time gone? Time has marched on. Well, there is a reality that we must live with. Time stops for no one. That's right. We cannot stop time, or even though we might pull the battery out of our clocks or unplug them. That's the only way that time stops on that particular timepiece. But time continues to move on. Minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years. Those are the units of time that we live by, and nothing we do is going to change it. Time stops for no one. These are the days of our lives. Yeah. So what do we do? What do we do about time? Well, we can go around wearing two wristwatches and trying to worry about what time it is. But I think the best thing that we can work at doing is using the time we have wisely. And what do I mean by the time we have? Well, we all know that our bodies that we experience don't last forever. Nope. Because we've all experienced the death of our family, friends, grandparents, parents, maybe. Yeah, we get older and eventually our bodies wear out. Time has marched on and time is passing by. The scripture actually says that we are granted 70 years typically, plus more, a few here and there. And so we know that our life expectancy can be maybe 80, 70, 80, 90 years. Some people live to be 100. They're unique. Other people, their time is much shorter, whether it's by an illness, an accident, or just as God desires. So as we talk about those things, that's a little tough to talk about. But the reality is that time does march on. And as time marches on, things change in our lives, right? So here's a scripture, Psalm 90:12, that is a good challenge for us. Teach us to realize how short our lives are. Then our hearts will become wise. That is when we talk about using our time wisely, to realize that we're here for a few years, 70, 80, whatever that may be. And we will want to use those years and fill those years wisely. Planning about how we live with time is good. There's a dose of reality, but with the understanding that we're not in control of times. Time can change. James 4:14, the verse reminds us this: you don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow. So what is your life? It is a mist that appears for a little while and then it disappears. So sometimes we can say, hey, in 40 years from now, I'm going to be doing this, this, and this, and this. So as old as I am, and 40 years from now, most likely I'm not going to be living. So I shouldn't be planning for something 40 years from now. And if I do, I must say, well, I'm not guaranteed that, or even 10 years from now. I don't know what's going to happen in 10 years, or even tomorrow. I don't always know what's going to happen tomorrow. I have it planned on my calendar of what I want to do, but life can change very quickly. Ephesians 5:16 says, make the most of every opportunity, for the days can be evil. That's right. We never know what will happen in the next day, and we want to make the most of every opportunity. And remember that verse from Ecclesiastes 3? It's a pretty famous verse. There is a time for everything. There's a time for everything that is done on earth. Yeah, there's time. We live in time. We are living right now in time, but time marches on, but there's time for what we're doing right now. And God is the master of time and our times. 2 Peter 3:8, Apostle Peter says, dear friends, here is one thing you must not forget. With the Lord, a day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years are like a day. God is the master of time, and he doesn't always place it in seconds and minutes and hours and days and weeks and months and years like we do. He sees the big picture while we're living in these little units. And so God, as the master of time, is also the master of our time here on earth. And so we give to him, and we do the best we can with the time that we have, even though we don't know when that time ends. Get what I'm saying? That's right. So we may never see time in a parade, all our timepieces marching on, and we may be consumed sometimes with having watches and clocks and keeping track of all those things. But let's remember that our times really is in God's hands. And I trust him for that. And I hope you do too. So today, as time passes on, as time marches on, I wish for you a day that's filled with joy and a day that's filled with peace.